7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Welcome back, everybody. In the last last video, we worked on this where marketers come to grow social proof section. As I mentioned, I'll be showing you later how to do this nice drop shadow box that we have here. But for now, we're going to go ahead and jump into this next section here, which we will call points. So, like the various points that we're trying to make. So, close these down, add a new section, and call this points. And we will break this out into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Row 1 will be headline. Row 2 will be point number 1. Point number 2. Point number 3 and point number 4. So the first thing we want to do is just work our way down the page like we've been doing. So we'll snag a headline and we'll make sure it's in that first section there called headline. So I'll just hover over it, make sure it's in the right one. It is. So then what I'll do is I'll actually clone this and then bring it down instead, because I want my styling to be consistent. Within here, I'll just change this to the only landing page course you'll ever need. And this is not bolded, and it's a little bit smaller in my page over here. So that looks good. And then I want that subhead. So I'll go ahead and drop that in, and in this course, you will every skill and technique Great. So that looks pretty close. That looks really good right now. The only thing I would say is I'd probably like a little bit more space at the top of the section. So you come in here, and I'll just say, give me 3 padding on the top and 3 on the bottom. And then here, I would like maybe a little bit more spacing. Actually, we'll leave it like that. I like that. All right, so perfect. That is this section here. It looks pretty much exactly the same. So we'll hop into our next section, which is point number 1. And this is where we'll start using the image and text. So this should be the point number 1 section. Let me check. You highlight over it. I'm in the right one. You click edit, and I want it to be on the right. Image on the right, text on the left. Come in, do watch for free, exclamation point. And then for this one, to save us the time, I'm just going to go ahead and copy the text, hit enter, drop it in, and then now, boom, watch for free, blow this up. That looks pretty good. Then we want this sizing to be smaller, but I like more spacing. And that looks pretty darn good right there. So I've already brought in these images. I created them on my own time just to save us some time here. So I'll just click in, go into images, and select the image that I've uploaded. If you hadn't, you would just click edit image. You go here and you would upload it. But I already have mine here. There is a title and an alt text box. We will be going through what these are for and when to fill these out and how during the SEO section of this course, because this is SEO related. But for now, I have that image. I want it to be a little bit smaller than it is right now. So I click this and I'll just drag that down a little bit. I like it at 80%, like it center aligned. That all looks good. So one section down. What I also might want to do is just add add some padding on either side of this. So maybe I'll take a spacer on this side, drag it out, you know, like that, and make it a little bit more inside. We'll see how I like that in a second here. So then we'll go down to the next section and we'll do the same thing. We will just clone this, actually drag this down to point number 2, which I didn't make it to, unfortunately. Drag this down to point number 2. Went too far. Point number 2. Now I've made it. Pull this back here. And then I'm going to edit this. No, to make it easier, we'll just redo it. It's being a little bit wonky there, but I'll come in, drop this in, make sure it's in point number 2, which it still isn't. Now it is, and this one's going to be left-hand side. Take this text, copy it in here, and then make it match up. So design, beautiful pages, copy that, drop it in, update that styling the way we liked it. So I want to see what sizing I'd used here. We had 4 and 6. So here will also be 4 and 6. That looks good. Add the image. So for this one, I want to use this image. I'll insert it. See how that looks. I'll do the same thing with the spacer widget. Now we'll deal with that after we get these all lined up. I want to make sure that the spacing looks good afterwards, but for now, that's looking okay. All right, and then in point number 3, we will drop the next one. Boom, make sure it's in point number 3. It is, great. Put that one on the right-hand side. And then we will do text one more time, which for this case is increase conversions. Pull that copy and update that text also. Blow it up. Boom, boom, boom. Take this copy, put it to 4 and 6 like we saw on the last one. Looking good all around there. Add an image. This one we want is this one, increase conversions. Image size on this, move it down just a bit. I'm liking that 81%. Do the same up here. I think that's the right size. Can always adjust it later, but it's looking, you know, right about that 81%. It's looking good. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I need that space widget over here. Yeah, that looks much, much cleaner that way. So I just put a spacer widget so I could condense this text a little bit and make them a little bit more squared on the page. And then the last piece that we need for the point 4 section is just one more of those widgets. come down here, find that last section, put it on the left-hand side, and then do this one last time. Build your skills. Drop that in. Do our magic here. Bam, bam. And here, move that to the good old 4 and 6. Add that image, which is build your skills, which is what you guys are hopefully doing right now. And we'll just do one last spacer. Drop it over here, boom. Take that spacer. Make this 81 or 80. Go. All right, so that's looking pretty good. It looks pretty on par with this. I may want to change this head section a little bit, but right now I feel like it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and preview this. This is it on desktop, looking nice. Let's look at it on tablet. Looking good. And then let's look at it on mobile. Nice. Awesome. Well, this is that section on points, and now in the next video we will move on to the final section here, which is the form, and then after that we'll work on a whole bunch of the nuanced stuff, including adding the horizontal slant here, doing the styling on this box, and then figuring out what to do with the CTAs, how to make those link, and then I'll show you some cool little custom stuff that you can do. So stay tuned for the next video.
Crazy mother.